This is what we came up with. All right, Giardi, what do you have? What do you like? What do you? Yeah, tell me.
So the most important thing here is I do not have the Patriots making the playoffs. I have them at 8 and 9. I did multiple sort of projections, and kind of the way I look at it is the AFC East is a toss-up. I had, when I did it multiple times, I had the Bills, the Jets, and the Dolphins all at 11-6. Yeah. The Patriots at 8 and 9. I think the Bills are going to break through at least in the AFC this year. I don't. You know, KC, the Chris Jones thing's a problem. But Philly, to me, Philly's in this year. This is what they got there last year. I know that generally that the rule is you lose the Super Bowl, you don't come back the next year. I think a team is too talented.
Michael?
You know, I like what you did there. You put Buffalo in the Super Bowl, and you didn't have them win. A lot of people put them in there and be like, oh, finally, Buffalo, Western New York, you got them in, and they lose again in the Super Bowl. Okay, I like these picks here. I've got the Bills. You know, reports of their demise are greatly exaggerated.
I would agree.
Philly. Hey, how about the NFC South, Felger? Give me some Falcons and Lions. It's crazy. I only picked the Seahawks because I can't stand the 49ers. I got the Eagles winning the NFC and the Cincinnati Bengals.
I like it.
They are. I really think they've been the best team for the last 3 years. Patrick Mahomes took over last year. They should have won that game, AFC Championship game last year. Bad call, and the linebacker out of bounds, all this stuff.
That was a good call.
I'm going with the Bengals. Bengals going to win the whole thing. Patriots out in the playoffs.
Okay, I'll do mine. I mean, this is just, I mean, half of them are literally just to
pretty strategic here.
Pick something different. I'll get to my Green Bay thing here in a second. But I will go with the Cowboys over the Eagles here in year 2. Yeah, I mean, I say year 2. Just the year after the Super Bowl, it's real hard. Losing that Super Bowl, getting back. And this may be a reset year for the Eagles, but they're not going anywhere long term. I will give the Bills the AFC East again. I will give the Titans the South just because everyone's going to pick the Jaguars. They're the hot team. You know, just taking one whiff of Pittsburgh in the offseason. I think they've already built an offense. I think they've already built an offense that's past you. Mm-hmm. And so I will give the Pittsburgh Steelers, also great coaching out there, give them the North, and the Chiefs remain Super Bowl champion. They're going to duplicate, and this is to, you know, troll Patriots fans a little bit. They'll win 3 or 4 years, duplicating the Patriots' first half of their dynasty, because I know the Patriots fans are very, very protective of that thing. Mahomes is a worthy heir to that, and so I think, you know, it is KC. They'll do it 3 out of 4 years. The Packers stuff, I'm just doing it to spite Aaron Rodgers. I'm so glad he's gone. I'm so glad they've turned the page. I think so many people don't get it. So many people don't get that he was actually holding them back, even when he was putting up great MVP kind of numbers. His head wasn't in it. His heart wasn't in it. He was not a great team leader. He's just sort of an anvil there, especially that last year. So Love's not better than Aaron Rodgers, but they'll have a better year because of it, and they're going to surprise a lot of people.
Is it going to bother you if Rodgers wins the MVP?
No. I mean, no, it'll be a great story, but I'm just glad he's gone. Honestly, you know, Favre went to Minnesota, had a great year. He was still a loser and an asshole. So that's not going to change. I love that I can call these guys assholes.
It's like, like every
that's allowed?
It's like every third
show, I get to call Favre Rodgers an asshole.
And you know, and I didn't see it coming the other night. He goes, you know, Holley, I really love that we do this show at night. And I'm like, oh, wow, he's going to say something nice about doing the show with me. He's like, no, I get to say asshole.
Favre and Rodgers. That's
why.
Bold predictions. Bold predictions. What do we got?
Oh.
Justin Jefferson goes for 2,000 yards receiving. I think he's unbelievable. I think they added Jordan Addison, which is, I think, to an upgrade over Adam Thielen, who couldn't really run anymore. But I just think that Kirk Cousins, in time of need, he's just going to throw it to Justin Jefferson. Smart decision.
Okay, let me do mine next just because I want to spend more time on Mike's, because mine is just a continuation of what I said. Jordan Love will get MVP consideration. Top five MVP consideration for Jordan Love. All right, what's yours?
All right. The Houston Texans.
No.
The Houston Texans will win more games than the New England Patriots.
What?
In 2023. Now, that sounds like, when you say that, like, oh, the Texans, they're so terrible. They had the second pick in the draft. But the Texans playing, you just alluded to it, Mike, the Texans play in the AFC South. Yes. So you got 6 games, you know, against the Titans and the Jaguars and the Colts. And not really a great team among them. And then I think they're going to surprise some people. I think they'll win some of those games against the divisional competition. I think they might win 7. I think the Patriots are in real trouble.
Well, let me ask you this.
I think the Patriots are in trouble talent-wise.
So the last week you've been really down on the Patriots. When we were talking about the Patriots maybe 3 weeks ago, I can't remember. You were kind of relatively high on them. You were encouraged by what they could do this year, and I think you were mostly positive on the team. And now you've really sort of turned. What happened in the last 2 to 3 weeks?
Just looking at the talent.
Who got to you?
No, nobody got to me.
that.
No, nobody got to me. That's not it.
And that's all I'm asking.
It's just looking at the talent. I think it's really a deficit at almost every positional group. Even the groups that they're supposed to be strong at. Like in the secondary, they still have some holes in the secondary. They have some holes at linebacker. They have one great edge rusher in Matthew Judon. There's nothing on offense that you're afraid of from a defensive perspective. If you're a defensive coordinator, you're like, okay, I'm not afraid of anybody. Look at their receivers group. And I know they gave you a hard time, stink, stank, stunk, but it's not that bad.
They still love me.
Their best, what is their strongest? What's the strongest aspect of the team?
If they win on Sunday, well, because Bill Belichick came up with something. We're still sort of relying on Belichick to have a more prepared or a smarter game plan or stop it. It's like.
And you know what?
You're not winning this game.
And here's the other thing with that. Remember, and I've heard you say this many times, Mike, and you're right, where Belichick says, hey, they'll do something stupid.
Yeah,
these other teams. All right, this is the era of the Patriots and Belichick. So you don't think these teams have read Education of a Coach? You don't think they watch Do Your Job Part 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5 and 6? Okay, so they hear them talking about their philosophy, and they've smartened up. And they've adjusted. So you don't have, that's an advantage. Belichick as your head coach is an advantage, but it's not a yawning advantage like it used to be.
And last year, your coaching here in New England was subpar. And it wasn't just because he put Judge and Patricia in charge of the offense. There were a lot of pre-snap stuff. There were a lot of special teams issues. Things that, again, you always say the other team does it. They don't do it. Well, they did it last year. I remember talking about where you would put Belichick this year heading into the year of the power rankings. And I had him like 8 or 9 or 10, somewhere in there. Oh, my goodness, he's still the best game coach. Well, yeah, he has been the best game coach. But last year, he wasn't the best game coach all the time. He didn't have a clean operation. That falls on the head coach. That's where it's got to stop.